Mastermind, Strategist for Hire. Written by Clouds, My Head in the Clouds, Not Coming Down. And read by Eleanor Elizabeth. Chapter 17. Mastermind vs. Stain. Ida shielded his head as a katana came out of nowhere, blocking his kick, removing his helmet and knocking him to the ground.
This is no place for a child.
Ida stood and let Stain see the rage in his eyes.
Blood-red scarf, knives all over your body. You're Stain, the hero killer. I've been looking for you, but I didn't think I'd find you so soon.
Stain levelled his katana at Ida's face.
Your eyes are searing with vengeance. Be careful what you say next, for even someone your age could be my target.
Ida clenched his fist as rage and hatred clenched his heart.
Are you saying I'm not even a threat to you?
He met Stain's eyes.
My brother is a hero who you attacked. He was the best older brother anyone could ask for. I have come to stop you because he can't anymore. I'm going to make sure you remember my name for as long as you live. I am Ingenium, and I will defeat you.
Then so be it, Stain said.
Die.
Ida levelled a kick at the hero killer, who dodged and returned with a kick of his own, knocking Ida to the ground. Before he could even think to move again, Stain's katana was buried in his arm.
So you're Ingenium's brother. You don't deserve to call yourselves heroes. You're fakes, both of you.
Ida grit his teeth.
My brother was someone people looked up to. Now he'll never work as a pro-hero again. You had no right to take that away from him. I won't forgive you. I'll kill you.
Shouldn't you be worried about saving that guy? Stain pointed, and Ida followed his finger to see pro-hero Native slumped against the wall of the alley. Ida's stomach sunk. He hadn't even realized Native was there. So busy with your grudge, you forgot all about him, right? You planned on using your quirk only for your own selfish desire for revenge. You're about as far from being a hero as I can imagine. Stain slid his katana from Ida's shoulder and licked it.
And that's why you'll die tonight.
Ida couldn't move. He couldn't think. What would his parents think? What would Tensei think? They'd be so disappointed, and he wouldn't even be able to apologize. Hot tears fell on the concrete. How could he have been so stupid? Goodbye, child. May your death bring about a better world. Ida closed his eyes and waited for the sharp bite of the katana. But it didn't come. Hello again, hero killer. Fancy seeing you here.
Mastermind.
Stain pointed his katana at the newcomer. Ida tried to look, but he could just barely see dark red boots standing behind Stain.
So nice of you to come. My blade hungers for the blood of the bastard that killed All Might.
Did you know that the girl who taught me to fight loves you? Mastermind asked idly. When I told her I was killing you tonight, she was so excited. Told me to bring her a vial of your blood. Mastermind fixed Stain with a green-eyed stare. I don't intend to break my promise. Ida didn't think that was how love worked at all, but he figured that whoever taught Mastermind to fight must be as crazy as he was, so best not to question it. He tried to move his fingers, but couldn't. Was this how Tensei felt when he woke up and couldn't move his legs? Mastermind launched himself at Stain, a long knife in each hand. Stain sliced down with his katana, intending to lodge it in his opponent's shoulder, but Mastermind twisted out of the way at the last second, slashing Stain across the ribs. Stain hissed as the blade sunk between the metal plating in his suit and left a long gash.
You have excellent aim, Mastermind, he smiled. Unfortunately, I have been at this much longer than you have.
He ran forward again with his katana. This time, when Mastermind dodged, he kneed him in the stomach, then used a knife he had hidden in his other hand to slash at Mastermind's arm. He brought the blade to his mouth, only to look at the clean metal with confusion. A word of advice, Mastermind laughed. When planning to fight a blood quirk user, invest in excellent armor. Before Ida could blink, Mastermind was pushing Stain back, and he had to bite back a groan as Stain stepped on him before launching forward again. The two had seemingly forgotten about him in their haste to kill each other, and Ida didn't think it would be wise to remind him that he was still there, frozen on the ground. This time Mastermind blocked the katana with his knives and twisted, disarming Stain and sending the sword skittering further down the alley. Stain didn't even look towards his fallen blade, instead pulling out a pair of hunting knives from his belt and running forward again. Ida flinched as another knife came sailing towards him and flew over his head. He flinched. Ida tried to stomp down on his growing hope as he thought about moving his fingers, and they obeyed him. He could move again. He looked to where Stain and Mastermind were fighting further down the alley, and for one brief moment he considered taking advantage of Stain's distraction and working with Mastermind to bring him down. He shook his head and slowly stood up. No, it had been a stupid decision to come after Stain in the first place. And if the hero killer had taken him down so quickly, what would he do if both Stain and Mastermind decided to kill him? Both had taken down heroes far more experienced than he was. He wouldn't stand a chance. He wouldn't do that to his family. Not again. Ida sneaked from the alley as quietly as he could before revving his engines. He had to go find Manuel. "Is that all you've got?" Izuku taunted as he stabbed Stain again. "I can see why I've killed so many more heroes than you." "You're the worst kind of person on this earth," Stain growled. "You let other people do your dirty work, and then you take all the credit. You take joy in senseless death and violence, with no regard for your effect on society." "Oh, I understand my effect on society, all right," Izuku said, as he blocked another throwing knife. "I understand that they fear me, that they think I'm powerful, that the kid they all thought was weak is stronger than all the rest of them." "So it's revenge you're after, is it?" Stain panted as he pulled another knife from his sheath. "You're just as bad as that kid I'll kill later." "Revenge? No, I'm afraid it's much simpler than that," Izuku replied. "Society is what made me who I am. They tossed me aside and ignored my pain. They agreed that I was only good for being abused and hated. So guess what? It's my turn to be powerful." Stain rushed at him with both knives, trying to draw blood from the exposed skin at his face, but Izuku simply bent over and stabbed both knives into Stain's gut before backing away. "I'll kill you for what you did to All Might," Stain choked out. Izuku straightened. The hero killer had lost a lot of blood. He was getting slower and more disoriented the longer the fight wore on. The hero killer was much better at quick battles that allowed him to draw blood early on. He could feel the conviction in Stain's aura, but he barely paid it any mind. He'd felt more murderous intent from Katsuki on a good day. Izuku slowly sauntered forward, and when Stain raised his knife to stab him, he simply knocked the blade out of his way. "Thanks for the fight, Stain," he said. "It's been a nice challenge." "Manuel!" Manuel looked up from the fire he was putting out when he heard his intern's voice. "Ida, where have you been?" He took in the blood staining the white armor, the missing helmet, the tear streaks, the way his intern was limping. "What happened to you?" The hero killer," Ida choked out, and Manuel felt sick. I know where he is. He's fighting Mastermind in an alleyway a few blocks away. I couldn't fight him. He was going to kill me. Native's still there. He's paralyzed with Stain's quirk." "Come on, Ida," Manuel said. "Let's get you to an ambulance." "No!" Ida cried. "You have to catch the hero killer. You have to save Native." "Did you say hero killer?" Manuel and Ida flinched as Endeavor came up behind them. Ida nodded. "I know where he is." "Lead the way, boy," Endeavor said, and Ida started running, with Endeavor and Manuel close behind. Shoto Todoroki watched them leave from his place among the sidekicks. Ida looked like he was lucky to have survived. He shook his head and focused on sending ice towards some of the fires. Maybe he should have told someone his suspicions about Ida after all. But, he thought, at least the hate in his eyes is gone. "Right down here," Ida called, and stopped short when he saw the blood. Some of it was his, he knew, but there was a lot more of it than had been on the ground when he left. Endeavor went to Stain, who was lying on the ground, his red scarf blending into its surroundings.
Surrender, villain! You cannot escape!
When Stain didn't move, he bent down, keeping one hand on fire just in case. He checked the villain's pulse and swore, extinguishing the light in his hand. Meanwhile, Manuel had gone to help Native. Ida went over to help him, but Manuel just shook his head. "I'm sorry, Ida. It looks like he bled out sometime during the fight." Ida stared at the fallen hero in horror as Manuel put his arm around him and led him out of the alley. "Come on," he said softly. "Let's get you to the hospital." Hey there, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. It's Ella, and I hope you're having a lovely day today. Mastermind is back! I know, you've missed it. I've seen the comments, I read them, and I know the people want it, the people have missed it, which is fair. This is such a good fic, and this one's juicy as well. Like, Stain, dead. He got, which, it's his fault for, trying to mess with Mastermind. But, also, I understand it, because, if someone killed All Might, I'd want to post up too. That's my homeboy right there. Oh my god. Is Stain, relatable? Also, it's just really fun to have Ida in this one, because I love him. I feel like he's an underrated fave. I feel like not many people like him, which I get, because, he can be, a little bit annoying in the first season. But, I always liked him. But, I understand why other people find him annoying. But, he's a sweet boy, He's trying to do his best. I understand. But what did you guys think of this chapter? Be sure to let me know in the comments down below. Also, I forgot to say in, the last video, thank you so much for everyone who left me birthday messages, because it was really beautiful and it made me happy. It was really cute, and I appreciate it. I try to reply to everyone's messages and stuff, but I just wanted to give you all a general thank you for sending me lots of sweet messages for my birthday. What can I say? I like comments. I like chatting to you guys because it's fun. You can also leave fic requests and stuff in the comments. Though, so I've had a few people in the last couple of weeks request fics to me to do that all involve some All Might bashing, and just to put it out there, I won't read it if it's got All Might bashing. Mastermind is probably as close as I'm gonna get to All Might bashing, and this one is bearable because it's such an out there AU, and All Might's dead in the first 10 chapters, so I don't have to hear too much of it. It genuinely makes me really sad, so I won't read them. So, but if you find good Dad Might fics, I will read them in the first 2 days. The second someone gives me permission to make it, I'll make it, because it's Dad Might content. I love that man with everything in my soul. I know the people want more Dad's Hour, and there will be. I'm always down for some Dad's Hour, as long as it doesn't get all bashy, which is a tough line to straddle, because I feel a lot of the time people feel they need to All Might bash to make Aizawa be Izuku's father figure instead of All Might. I'd say tell me if you prefer Dad's Hour or Dad Might in the comments, but I already know what your answer would be, and it would hurt my feelings, so I'm not going to ask. What I will ask is that you like the video if you liked it, and to boost my serotonin levels. You see that? I felt like that was pretty smooth. I'm getting the hang of this. Like the video if you like Dad's Hour. That's how I'll get the real likes. Fuck my dopamine levels. What really gets the people going is Dad's Hour content. I know what you like. Also, go ahead and subscribe, so you're notified when I make Dad's Hour videos. really coasting on this Dad's Hour content. That's how we'll get it done. You can also join the Discord if you want to come hang out with us. It's a good time over there. People recommend good fics, and a lot of them do have All Might bashing, and you can read them if you like. You can enjoy them. You can enjoy the Dad's Hour fics. There's a lot of good content on there, or you can just come and laugh and joke about with us. We are some chaotic people, but we have a good time. But until I see you again, all you little cuties, I'm going to pinch your cheeks, you cute little cherry blossoms. It's beautiful. But what you're going to need to do is practice some self-care. Yep, it's really important, and it would make me happy. It's what Dad's Hour would want. He'll give you his disappointed face if you don't do it. If you're not going to bed on time. If you're not getting hydrated, drinking lots of water. You need it. If you're not eating your 5 a day, okay? It's a requirement. Like, this wasn't an option anymore. You know why? Because this is a threat. And I will catch you guys laters.